Hello friends, today I'm talking about Radius server authentication. Radius will be work for authentication for our devices or VPN users. The another features which I am going to discuss Radius with Azure MFA. So first of all, I would like to tell you how Radius server work and where its requirement comes. In industry, authentication is a really matter for every organization, and the authentication mechanism should be secure because nowadays, multiple type of attacks happening in organization in corporate industry as well. So multiple hackers are hacking the system with the multiple ways. They are utilizing such type of, because now day by day technology is increasing and the security mechanism also increasing. But in terms of that, the hackers also being very smart and they are trying to different things. So why Radius comes in picture? Because whenever we talk about the authentication, so like suppose let's see in our organization, we are having server and client system. So like client is using by users and servers, which we have hosted any applications databases. So it could be like as per the requirement, what are the application or software or database you have hosted that servers. So whenever user want to access their applications, uh, for the authentication purpose, active directory comes in picture. So earlier what happened, the single mechanism were there. So because whenever user requesting for try to access any application, so request goes to uh, the internet via VPN, or after that it will access your applications, and so that we user will verify by active directory as well, so whether the such type of credential is correct or not, whatever the credential uh, putting by user. So if these credentials are not correct, in that situation, Active Directory will deny that request and you won't be able to access that application. But here, what happened? Suppose if let's talk about the VPN, Azure, simple VPN. So what happened? Because nowadays, mostly users are working from home, and after COVID, many users started to work from home. So after working from home, so it's a really security matters, because the whole data is traveling to the internet, even via VPN, but internet is in picture because without internet data cannot travel. So what happens actually? So whenever VPN users try to log in on the internet applications, so now because we have enabled the single sign-on, so what happened whenever we put our username and password on the Windows laptop, and the VPN automatically log in. So it's a really, it can be security breach, because someone, if suppose someone is stolen your Windows password, and he can log in on your VPN without asking the username password, and he can access whatever the internet, sorry, VPN dependent applications. So, and that could be really a big incident for your companies and your whatever critical application. So that can be accessed by unknown users, and that can the user can unknown user can steal the data, and they can leave the virus, so it can be such type of attacks on your organizations. So for avoid such type of attacks, what we are doing actually, now we have introduced Radius server with Azure MFA. So in that situation, what happened whenever like someone is going to log in on his laptop, then VPN will not log in automatically. Why? Because we have enabled the Azure MFA Radius server with Azure MFA. Azure multiple factor authentication. So in that scenario, like request will go on the Radius server, and Radius server will verify the request and will send to the Active Directory, and Active Directory will send to the Azure MFA as well. So Azure MFA what will do this, so that will prompt for uh, SMS, whatever your registered device number. So that SMS, and that could be the Microsoft Authenticator app. So it's a step of multiple way, which like mechanism you have selected for the authentication of Azure MFA. So that type of request you receive, and then you have to put and provide the response for the VPN credential, and then like user can access the VPN dependent application, and the VPN will be successfully logged in. So so avoiding such type of authentication incident, so we have introduced Radius server with a Azure MFA. So this is really helpful, and it's not big task to configure how to do that, and just we have to install a VM, Windows VM. On that, what we need to do, there is a and network policy services available in features. If you go role and features, so in features options there is a NPS services. So after enable the NPS service, you have to configure the Radius client and policies, and you have to register that uh, system after joining in domain in Active Directory. Also, if you go on the console of Radius network policies services console, there is the options for register this device, this computer in Active Directory. So you need to click on that, and it will prompt for registration in Active Directory. Then it will register on the Active Directory domain, whatever the domain you are using in your organization. So uh, if your Radius servers joined in particular domain, so that as per that connection, your server Radius server will register in that domain. So like this is the only agenda here to explain how Radius server um, will work with the Azure MFA, and we have to do some setting for configuration with Azure MFA as well. So those settings and those practicals I will explain in next video. So thank you, thanks for watching.